That's what we work hard for. We are a union. That's who we are. We work together, and we're going to stand up for one another.
Nearly all production in the U.S. has been halted as the Actors Guild looks to get the new contract. And this comes as the Hollywood writer's strike continues. Anchor Trisha Keene recently talked to late-night talk show host Jimmy Kimmel about the writer's strike. His show has been airing reruns because of it.
Like most people probably don't even know why I'm off the air right now, and I wish I was on the air, but we stand with our writers. I'm one of the writers, so until this strike is settled, unfortunately, there will be reruns on the air. But that doesn't mean you should stop watching them because, sometimes taking a second look at something can really give you a fresh perspective.
Variety reports the 75th Primetime Emmy Awards have been postponed as a result of these strikes. The award show was supposed to air on September 18th, but event vendors have reportedly been told the ceremony will not air on that date. The spokesperson for the televised academy deferred to Fox when asked for comment, and Fox declined to comment. The unions representing the striking writers and actors have not responded to a request for comment. Coming up on Channel 13, live at midday, I take you to a local farm cultivating fresh produce, even in our desert heat. How Frontier Farms is getting it done. When you think of the desert, a place to grow fresh fruits and vegetables probably isn't what comes to mind. But in a story you'll see only on Channel 13, Frontier Farms is on a mission to grow healthy food right here in the Las Vegas Valley, and I went to check it out. It's a leafy spread fit for healthy eating. Something you'd imagine would likely come from fertile fields rather than the dry Las Vegas Valley. You couldn't just grow this outside.
No, not even close. The heat and the lack of humidity will destroy anything out there.
So Scott Michelson and his wife Jelena turned inward, building Frontier Farms in a 10,000 square foot Henderson warehouse, joining the movement toward controlled environment agriculture. It's a technology-based approach to farming, using less water and no pesticides. Talk to me a little bit about how the process works.
We have our seed plugs, which are made from a coconut husk, so it's not dirt. It's sterile, it's clean. We just plop a seed in there and out comes a seedling. Here's one of our plugs.
Row after row, you'll find a variety of microgreens.
Pesticide-free is on every label.
Some of them even ending up on store shelves at your local Whole Foods. These microgreens make up just one section here in this warehouse. There's another 3/4 filled with a vertical growing section. They don't want you to see it yet because they don't have the patent and don't want you taking any of their ideas. But here's the thing, Michelson says this all really could be the future of farming.
Putting a farm next to or in the same zip code as the end user is the future. People want to know who's growing their food.
And there's one more special note about this farm. Scientists have found plants respond well to sound vibrations. So rather than real birds providing the concert, they've created their own.
This is highly specialized to our plants, and we should be able to get 30 to 40% better yields using this sound recipe.
High hopes for this new farm, fresh off the ground. Michelson says it takes about 10 to 14 days for a harvest, so a pretty quick turnaround. And they have plans to operate a food truck, reaching even more people across the valley. Well, still to come on Live at Midday, a sign of the times, why one expert says to pull out your old gift cards to help you during tough times. Stay with us.
Well, another day of triple-digit heat. Yesterday's high temperature was 112. We're on our way there today. So here's a look at the highs all over the southwest here. Mesquite, 113 for your high temperature today. And yes, these numbers are still above average for this time of year. We should be more around 105 degrees. Anthem expecting 110 today. Mount Charleston even hot, of course. 89 degrees there on this afternoon for high temperature. Laughlin expecting to hit 115, maybe 116. And because of that, there is an excessive heat warning that now extends to tomorrow night. This is issued by the National Weather Service, and it's this area highlighted here in pink that includes the Colorado River Valley, includes Lake Mead National Recreation Area as well. Again, excessive heat warning continues as we move into tomorrow night until 8 o'clock because high temperatures will be around 120 degrees. Overnight lows not cooling off all that much either. Lows will be around 90. So yes, it's hot. in the valley, outside the valley, all over the desert Southwest. But we have some changes on the way. A few more clouds are going to work their way into our area as we move through tonight, also as we move through the upcoming weekend. And the wind is still sticking around. That wind out of the southwest will be gusty at times. So why is all this happening? The clouds coming in, the gusty conditions, and the major heat? It's all thanks to this circle here indicating an area of high pressure. High pressure is sinking air, and when air sinks, it warms. So that's why we've been warming day after day, because this area of high pressure has been sitting here. Now, as we move through the upcoming weekend, the area of high pressure gets closer to the Four Corners region, which is right here. So this circle is going to be centered around it as we move into, well, trying to be centered around it as we move into Saturday. Then as we move into Sunday, it's really going to be centered around this Four Corners region. When it does that, then we get moisture coming from the Gulf of California down here. When that happens, we see monsoon spark. So that's what's going to be in the forecast as we move into the beginning of next week, starting on Sunday, and then it will carry us into the beginning of next week. So here you go, your 7-day forecast. High temperature today around 111, 112, repeating tomorrow, but more clouds. Then on Sunday, even more clouds, sticky, and the possibility of an outside storm. Probably won't happen. Then we move into Monday, better chance of seeing monsoon storms, thunder, lightning, the whole deal. Tuesday so far looks like the day where most everybody will see some storms happening with a high of just 100 degrees.
Well, gift cards are one of the most common gifts we get. Even though it's free money, many people are not taking advantage of them. Scripps News' Michael Brookbank talked to a finance analyst about why so many of them go unused and who's more likely to get those cards or let those cards go to waste.
Many of us have free money just lying around, and we ought to put it to use.
You hear that? Free money. But a lot of us haven't been keeping track of it. According to a survey from Bankrate, nearly half of Americans have at least one unused gift card, voucher, or store credit, adding up to about $23 billion of forgotten funds nationwide.
Most of us have something like $200 in free money lying around.
Those with the most unused gift cards, those with a higher income, but they're not alone.
Even in that lowest income bracket, under $50,000 in annual household income, even there, more than a third have unused gift cards.
The survey also finding millennials are more likely to have unused gift cards.
I think a lot of times we get a gift, we put it somewhere, and we forget about it. But I think it's a really good idea to be intentional, especially in a time of high inflation, high interest rates.
Do you think that this might deter people from giving gift cards as gifts?
I actually don't. I feel like just about every year when the National Retail Federation puts out their holiday gift study, it feels like gift cards are always number one or number two in terms of most given, but also most requested.
And even if you get a gift card to a store that you really don't like, you can use it on someone else.
Maybe buy a gift for somebody else. Make a note in your calendar, like your mom's birthday's coming up or your brother's Christmas present.
Or just sell it.
You can get about 70 or 80% of what it's worth on sites like Card Cash and Raise.
The U.S. Food and Drug Administration issued warning letters to several e-cigarette distributors, accusing them of selling and distributing unauthorized products that appeal to minors. ABS Distribution, EC Supply, and Easy Wholesale have all received warnings. Regulators allege the companies have distributed products that do not have marketing authorization. That's in violation of the Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act. The distributors have 15 days to respond with steps they plan to take to correct and prevent violations. Coming up on Channel 13, millions of Americans dream of owning their first home. How one city is making it a little easier, even with rising interest rates. A number of factors are making it extremely difficult for people to buy their first home. In today's Two Americas report, Matt Pearl found out one city is trying to narrow the gap.
You've lived all over the country, but San Diego is home.
Yes, I love the diversity of San Diego, the climate, God's country, but then of course you pay a price to live here.
That price is Sujatha Raman's practice. She helps first-time homebuyers in the city she drives us through today, at a time when buying that first home has become a massive challenge in God's country and all over the country.
Civil service servants, firefighters, police officers, school teachers have found it very unaffordable to be able to purchase a home, and there's no really any program anywhere for middle-income families.
A report last month from the National Association of Realtors and Realtor.com underscored in print what many have found in the process. Those at the median household income in America, basically the middle class, can afford fewer than a quarter of homes on the market.
Cities have to kind of rethink the playbook right now.
J.P. Walsh works for the Urban Institute. They produced a report specifically for San Diego. They found the simple number of homes on the market had dropped 80% in fewer than 4 years. They found Black and Hispanic residents specifically were getting priced out.
There simply aren't enough homes these days relative to the demand for people who want to buy homes.
No one wants to give up their current mortgage and sell and move into other homes, which is why first-time home buyers are not able to buy a home. That lower-priced inventory just doesn't exist.
Raman drove us 2 miles from the Mexican border, then to a neighborhood further in. This is typically where they place low-income home buyers. Now,
It's getting to the point where middle-income home buyers are looking out here too.
Yes, we're finding families, cashing out their 401ks to come up with a down payment amount.
enter straight-up cash. The San Diego Housing Commission has started a pilot program for first-time middle-class homebuyers of color. If you qualify demographically and financially, you receive $20,000 toward a down payment and $20,000 toward closing costs. It's funded mainly from a $7.5 million private grant. It's expected to help thousands.
We launched our BIPOC middle-income program just about a month ago, and I would say we're easily getting 200 to 300 inquiries per day.
Property is how so many build wealth. Raman says the factors that have exploded the market won't stay this way forever.
I think this is the worst we will see. Starting in 24, it'll ease a little bit.
In the meantime, cities and families must figure it out. How to open those pathways and pieces of God's country, wherever they can find it. In San Diego, I'm Matt Pearl.
You're watching Channel 13 Live at midday. We'll be right back with another half hour of news and weather. Stay with us. Right now on Channel 13 Live at midday, the story of a teenager and a cop reunited after 5 years. Why their prior encounter changed both of their lives forever. Plus, sentencing for a former UNLV basketball recruit, what he'll have to do after taking another person's life on the road. And the new charges against former President Donald Trump over his handling of classified documents. What's next for the presidential candidate? But we want to start this half hour with a live look downtown. Things certainly starting to heat up. We started this newscast 100 degrees. It is now 105. Whew. Gina Cancelleri explains what we can expect for the rest of the day.
Okay, let's do this. As we move through the rest of the afternoon, a few more clouds coming into the picture and the wind will pick up a little more. Temperature at 1 o'clock, 110, but if you're on the east side of the valley, a little hotter than that. If you're on the west side of the valley, a little cooler. And that trend continues as we move through the 4 o'clock hour, 111 degrees, and there's the wind out of the southwest, 15 miles per hour, gusting higher at times, up to 20 miles per hour possible. Then you'll notice some more clouds moving in. More clouds for 8 o'clock tonight than we've seen in the overnights for quite some time. 106 degrees at that time, and there you can see the wind does dial back a little bit thanks to the sun setting. Let me again tell you about this. An excessive heat warning continues as we move into Saturday now for the Colorado River Valley and Lake Mead. So this upcoming weekend, stay hydrated, wear sunblock, protect yourself from this heat. Now, as we move through the afternoon, I'm saying we're going to see more clouds. Here's a futurecast to prove it. Those clouds are coming from the monsoon moisture off to the southwest. Here they are moving in. I've got your full 7-day forecast coming up.
A chance encounter between a homeless teen and a California police officer changed both of their lives. Now they've been reunited years later. Camila Bernal has their heartwarming story.
A typical 17-year-old and a typical summer workout. But 5 years ago, Alex Nasario's life was anything but.
I knew I was homeless. I knew I didn't have shoes or a shelter or a place to call home.
Something that the Starbucks employees in Escondido, California noticed.
They informed me that there's a young boy that would hang out at the store till they closed, and then they noticed that he'd go across the street and would be alone at the Jack in the Box.
Then Officer John Larson found Alex alone.
I actually put myself out with dispatch and went to go contact him and just started chatting with him. Told him he wasn't in trouble.
A conversation that both would remember for years to come.
What's up, bud?
Hi.
Officer Larson knew Alex needed help.
All times are tough.
He dropped him off with Child Welfare Services, but confidentiality rules prevented him from keeping in touch.
Once he was out of my hands, I called him multiple times, different months, just to see if I got lucky and got slipped through the cracks.
But Officer Larson never gave up.
How's family?
Family's going good right now.
Last December, another member of the police department found Alex and gave Officer Larson the good news.
I started tearing. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it.
After 5 years, the two met for lunch for another unforgettable conversation.
It felt pretty surreal since I didn't expect Officer Larson to try to find me.
And not only did he find him.
When I met you, you were already in middle school, right?
He attended Alex's high school graduation, a barbecue with his foster family, and promised a forever friendship.
As I grew older, I realized that Officer Larson took the best course for my future. I love him more now.
The admiration is mutual.
It almost feels like my career is complete.
Alex wants to be a graphic designer.
You took a bad situation and you turned it into everything positive.
He says that thanks to Officer Larson and others, he has the physical and mental strength to overcome challenges and pursue his dreams.
Stronger than me. He made all these decisions on his own to succeed. I think every time we have a good success in my line of career, it's always a great validation.
A former UNLV men's basketball recruit was sentenced to 3 years probation. Zayon Collins pleaded guilty to a felony charge of reckless driving resulting in death and a misdemeanor charge of vehicular manslaughter. The plea deal included a 3-month sentence in the Clark County Detention Center. It all stems from the December 2020 crash that left Eric Echeverria dead. Collins apologized to his family.
I'd like to start off by sending my sincerest apology to the family that was involved and impacted from this accident. I understand I hurt many people with the road of my accident by recklessly driving.
The judge ordered Collins to complete 100 hours of community service and pay a $3,500 fine. He will also undergo alcohol monitoring and mental health treatment. Former President Donald Trump is facing new felony charges and new claims that he tried to delete surveillance video. It's all part of the investigation into his handling of classified documents. ABC's Im Nguyen has the latest from Washington.
Explosive new claims by special counsel Jack Smith that Donald Trump tried to destroy surveillance footage which may have shown what happened to some classified documents Trump was storing in Mar-a-Lago.
When you think about what this case is about, big picture, right? It's about obstruction of justice.
The former president now hit with 2 new counts of obstruction of justice, along with his current aide, Walt Nauta, and a new figure, Carlos de Oliveira, who sources say was the head of maintenance at the Florida residence. The indictment alleges in the days after June 22nd of last year, when the Justice Department notified a Trump attorney about a draft subpoena requiring the production of certain security camera footage from Mar-a-Lago, Trump allegedly spoke to de Oliveira for 24 minutes. On June 25th in Mar-a-Lago, according to the indictment, Nauta and de Oliveira met and asked questions about the security camera footage and observed the camera placements. In a stunning encounter described in the new indictment, de Oliveira allegedly speaks to a person described as employee number 4, allegedly saying the boss wants the server deleted. What are we going to do?
What they realize, according to this indictment, is that they have inadvertently left, in this case, a video trail that the Department of Justice is aware of, and they need to get rid of it.
This superseding indictment also charges Trump with a new count of willfully retaining national defense information arising from a document Trump allegedly showed researchers in 2021 at his Bedminster, New Jersey golf club.
This was done by the military, given to me.
Trump previously claimed he didn't have any classified records in that incident. But now the special counsel believes there's proof there was a top secret paper concerning military activity that Trump had tried to keep from investigators. Trump has denied any wrongdoing in all cases. De Oliveira is also being charged with making false statements during a voluntary interview with the FBI in January. He's expected in court Monday. M. Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
A new study is revealing the benefits of using olive oil and its impact on brain health and dementia patients. According to research presented to the American Society for Nutrition, eating just a spoonful a day of olive oil can reduce your risk of dying from dementia by 28%. Scientists say the potential benefits of olive oil for brain health could be due to antioxidant compounds that directly impact the brain. Coming up on Channel 13, the Bell Breakdown takes a look at some movies in theaters right now. Stay with us. It's Friday, and what better way to kick off the weekend than with a movie night? Here's the Bell Breakdown.
It's a good week for Las Vegas on film with the release of the locally shot thriller Sympathy for the Devil, now available for video-on-demand rental. Longtime Las Vegas resident Nicolas Cage stars as a mysterious, nameless assailant who carjacks a seemingly innocent father-to-be played by Joel Kinnaman. Although the characters take a brief detour down the strip, most of the movie takes place on desolate roads on the outskirts of the city, offering a glimpse of parts of Vegas not usually depicted in movies. The plot doesn't always hold together, especially when the character's true connection is revealed, but Cage's enjoyably bonkers performance, including a memorable sing-along to a certain disco classic, is always mesmerizing to watch. It's a worthy addition to Cage's ongoing Las Vegas filmography. That's Sympathy for the Devil, now on VOD, and opening August 18th at the Beverly Theater. Now playing in theaters is the creepy Australian horror movie Talk to Me. The title refers to a party game played by bored teenagers who use a strange ceramic hand to supposedly summon spirits that will first appear to and then possess the person who performs the ritual. Of course, it's all fun